Our final performer, single performer, solo performer, before we all get together and do the 12 Days of Christmas, or as I like to say, destroy it another year. I saw this guy's driver's license one time. I swear it said public domain under the name. Cheap? That's the way. That's how you save money on driver's license. All right. Please welcome Bill Shustik.
In the 8th century, yes, Ishmael, we were there. Bohemia was ruled by a mighty pagan dynasty. In that point in time, it was headed up by Duke Rastislav. They did not have kings yet back then. They came in much later with the Holy Roman Empire. Duke Rastislav and his absolutely beautiful, drop-dead gorgeous wife, Drahomira. But she was a little tweaked. And they gave birth to a man-child, and they named him Wenceslas, meaning celebration of victory. And for some reason, Drahomira didn't like her kid. I mean, she really didn't like him. She kept trying to kill him, which was a little extreme even for the pagan dynasty in 8th century Bohemia. So some of the court whisked him away to the safety of the forest to be raised by his paternal grandmother, Ludmilla. Starting to sound like a Disney movie. Now, unbeknownst to the pagan court, Ludmilla had embraced this new religion that was drifting up into the great forest of the north, Christianity. And she raised Wenceslas as a Christian. There were subsequent siblings, of which Drahomira, I guess, didn't have that much of a problem. So finally, Rastislav ups and croaks, and they're getting all ready to crown the new pagan dynasty fella, the new duke. And Wenceslas emerges from the forest to claim the throne, 18 years old. And he immediately weds, I assume, an absolutely gorgeous, they all are when they're 13 years old, young lady by the name of Gisela, which my Aunt Gizzy, born in Budapest, was named for Gisela, Gizzy. Now, and so they reigned together, this young couple. And the Bohemians began to realize something was different. Different. This guy was nice. I mean, this is 8th century Bohemia, and he's a duke, for crying out loud. Nice. He really cared whether his subjects were clothed and fed and housed. One time, he went out and he bought 1,000 slaves. And it drove his administration nuts. I mean, even back then they weren't cheap. And he couldn't, just take them. And then it turns out he buys them for the sole purpose of setting them free. I mean, this was just Duke Wenceslas. As I say, they ruled a happy kingdom for about 3 or 4 years till his mother murdered him at the age of 24. Now, you see illustrations of this guy in books, and they always have him as a little old man with a white goatee and a fringe of white hair around a bald head. He was 23 years old when he was murdered, 24, when he was murdered by his mother. Now, you take that somewhat unhappy story, and you anglicize the name, and you create a poem, and then you research ancient European music. This one British scholar in the early 1800s did, a fellow by the name of Neil. Set it to a tune that he found that was a pagan tune used for the celebration of the rites of spring. We all know what that stuff's about. And this, my friends, is what we get. Wenceslas looked out on the feast of Stephen, when the snow lay round about, deep and crisp and even. Brightly shone the moon that night, and though the frost was cruel, when the poor man came in sight, gathering winter fuel. Hither, page, and stand me by, and thou know'st it telling, yonder peasant, who is he, where and what his dwelling? Sire, he lives a good league hence, underneath the mountain, right against the forest fence, by St. Agnes' fountain. So bring me flesh and bring me wine, bring me pine logs hither, thou and I shall see him dine ere we bring them thither. Pledge and monarch, forth they went together, through the rude wind's wild lament, and the stormy weather. Sire, the night grows darker now, and the wind much stronger. Fails my heart, I know not how I can go much longer. Mark my steps, my good page, tread thou in them boldly. Thou shalt find the winter's rage freeze thy blood less coldly. His master's steps he trod, where the snow lay dinted. Heat was in the very sod which the saint had printed. Therefore, Christian men, be sure, wealth or rank possessing, you now shall help the poor. Shall yourselves find blessing. Hon, it came out. Oh, well, okay.
A different Lisa.
Thank you. I am whole again.